Wendy is at a facility doing her best to be her best. She's taking it day by day. People forget that she deals with grave disease.
They are lying, and he's claiming they're lying. They're signing her up for projects that she's not ready for, including a possible unscripted show.
Wendy Williams, the original queen of daytime television, is now living a real-life nightmare that would make any soap opera look like child's play. The woman who built a career exposing celebrities' darkest secrets is now trapped, powerless, stuck in a brutal court-ordered guardianship that stripped her of almost everything. Her money, her freedom, her voice. Imagine it, a woman once feared for her fearless tongue can't even make basic choices about her life anymore. And honey, as we peel back the layers, it's clear. This isn't just legal red tape. No, baby, this is about power, control, and a whole lot of shady dealings behind the scenes. And guess what? The names being whispered are going to leave your jaw on the floor.
Advantage of the dysfunction. Why do you want to document somebody's downfall?
Let's start with the basics, because trust me, you'll need a strong drink for this. Wendy can't even Google her own name or call a friend without someone's permission. Let that sink in. The woman who built an empire by staying connected, the one who spilled tea hotter than hell's front porch, can't even check her emails without somebody breathing down her neck. Her money? Gone. Her living situation? Not her choice. The so-called protective guardianship turned her life into a luxury prison. And here's the kicker. Wendy never even asked for it to go this far. According to her healthcare advocate, Genessa Monto, Wendy only agreed to some oversight, thinking it would shield her from shady characters. She never dreamed it would spiral into a full-on dictatorship where she can't even pick her own doctors or visit her own family without begging permission. It's almost like they set her up to fail. And baby, she fell right into their trap.
I genuinely feel compassion for her.
But here's where it gets downright creepy. There's a growing rumor, and it's not just whispers anymore, that Wendy's downfall was orchestrated. And the main villain in this twisted soap opera? Steve Harvey. Yep, Mr. Family Feud himself, the guy with the $1 million smile and the motivational quotes. But behind the scenes, allegedly, he might have helped mastermind Wendy's current misery. All to protect his own skeletons, and maybe to help out an old friend, none other than Diddy.
A picture of him getting his pants pulled.
Now don't roll your eyes just yet. The receipts are messy. See, Wendy and Diddy have been beefing for decades, all the way back to the 90s when Wendy exposed Diddy's dirty laundry on her radio show. She wasn't scared, y'all. She called him out on his business practices, his personal life, everything. And honey, Diddy didn't take it lightly. Shortly after Wendy's fiery exposés, she mysteriously got fired from her Hot 97 gig. Coincidence? Most say no. The streets were talking, and they said Diddy threatened to pull his entire bad boy roster from the station unless Wendy got axed. Fast forward to today, Diddy's facing his own mountains of legal trouble, and Wendy couldn't resist throwing a little shade, basically saying it's about time. And just like that, old grudges caught fire again. This is where Steve Harvey enters the chat, allegedly helping neutralize Wendy to keep her quiet and protect his buddy Diddy's empire. Because a free Wendy, a talking Wendy, was a dangerous Wendy.
Wendy Williams, the hottest radio host in New York City.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? Well, buckle up, because the puzzle pieces are clicking into place. Wendy's guardianship kicked in right after she started hinting at explosive secrets about Hollywood's power players. And let's not pretend Steve Harvey's hands are squeaky clean. There have long been whispers about his ties to Diddy's infamous scandal-riddled parties. While there's no hard proof linking Steve to anything shady, that close friendship alone raises serious questions. Could it be that Steve, trying to save face, helped orchestrate Wendy's downfall? Baby, where there's smoke, there's usually a 5-alarm fire.
And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle.
And let's not forget Wendy's own chilling warnings over the years. She's dropped bombshell hints about the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. Power, manipulation, intimidation, she spoke on it all. At the time, people brushed her off, calling her messy, dramatic, too extra. But now, honey, those warnings sound a whole lot like prophecies coming true.
I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the back.
Even the experts are now side-eyeing her guardianship. Why did it happen so fast? Why is it so hard for Wendy to get her freedom back, even after passing mental evaluations? Why does it feel like the system itself is conspiring to keep her locked away? It's giving cover-up, it's giving high-level sabotage, and it's giving Hollywood's dirtiest secrets coming to light.
Right? Correct. He had those tests. She's been deemed she is not incapacitated.
I passed with flying colors.
I know.
And, I think it's great news, and it's public, and everybody knows, factually that Wendy's not incapacitated.
As Wendy keeps fighting tooth and nail for her freedom, the stakes couldn't be higher. Because, baby, this is bigger than just Wendy. This is about exposing just how far the powerful will go to keep their secrets buried. It's about those dark, twisted alliances behind closed doors, the ones that prop up empires and destroy anyone brave enough to speak out. And now that Wendy's battle has dragged names like Steve Harvey and Diddy into the light, the industry is sweating bullets. But buckle up, because the drama is just getting started. And trust me, it's about to get even uglier.
For Wendy Williams, we saw earlier this week fans rallying outside of the assisted living facility where she is staying. That was clearly a big boost to her. We could see that.
Just when you think it couldn't get worse, the spotlight slams right onto Diddy himself. The man who once dripped untouchable wealth and luxury is now drowning in lawsuits, allegations, and whispers so nasty they'd make a soap opera blush. While Wendy fights her guardianship cage, Diddy's empire is crumbling in real time. And honey, it's not pretty. His world isn't just cracked, it's shattered. And guess who's getting dragged right down with him? Yep, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, the end goal is to get her out of that draconian institution she's in, that she doesn't belong in, because she's not incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. She's in a ward where people don't know their names, where people don't know between a red light and a green light. I mean, she's in a place where, people are dangerous to themselves. She's not. She can't leave there on her own to go get a couple.
Diddy's empire, once untouchable, is now a full-blown train wreck. We're talking federal investigations, racketeering allegations, whispers of conspiracy and misconduct that are so chilling, they're rewriting the narrative around one of hip-hop's biggest legends. Over 100 people have come forward, slapping Diddy with civil lawsuits that spill enough tea to flood a city. The accusations are horrifying, painting Diddy not just as a mogul, but as a ringleader of manipulation and control. Witnesses claim his parties, those ultra-exclusive gatherings, weren't just celebrations. They were carefully calculated arenas where people were stripped of their privacy, their phones, even their freedom. It's no wonder the lawsuits describe them as events that bent vulnerable people to his will. And honey, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent till proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent till proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent till proven guilty.
Adding gasoline to this dumpster fire is insider testimony. Former security staff are swearing under oath that certain parts of Diddy's properties were locked down tighter than Fort Knox, off limits to even his own employees. Hidden cameras everywhere, private sanctuaries for Diddy and his inner circle. Which begs the question, what's caught on those hidden recordings? Because if those tapes exist, baby, half of Hollywood should be shaking in their Louboutins right now. Rumors are swirling that frantic cover-ups have already started. And it's not just Diddy who's terrified.
With all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone. So
the lawsuits also reveal a culture of retaliation so toxic it could strip paint off a wall. Anyone who dared to cross Diddy, their careers evaporated overnight. Partnerships, gone. Opportunities, blocked. It didn't matter if you were a rising star or a seasoned veteran. If you said no to Diddy, your time in the spotlight was over. It's a system built on fear, intimidation, and loyalty bought with silence. And now, as more insiders finally find the courage to speak, the cracks in the dam are starting to split wide open. But exposing the truth? It's coming at a dangerous cost, because several whistleblowers have already reported getting threats. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the danger couldn't be more real.
Anything's possible, right? But now this judge has an even harder time, I think, because the past judge locked him up, didn't let him out, and he's still there available for trial. If the new judge lets him out on bond and something goes wrong, and this isn't the analysis that I'm proud to make, right? We shouldn't be saying, well, judges are worried about their own skin and how they look if something bad happens.
And if you thought Diddy's mess was confined to just him, think again. The lawsuits allege a whole damn ecosystem of enablers, entertainment lawyers, corporate execs, managers, all looking the other way for the sake of their own wallets. It's not just a Diddy problem, it's a Hollywood problem. And now the very industry that crowned Diddy the King is running scared, desperate to cover up the rot they helped nurture for decades. Because Diddy wasn't just a star, he was a kingmaker, the man who could bless or blacklist you with a handshake. And the price of being in his orbit? Let's just say it was a lot steeper than anyone realized.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes is that him? Or is that
Shout out to Wendy Williams.
But baby, the shade doesn't stop at Diddy. As this scandal unravels, it's casting a long, ugly shadow over everyone who was a part of his inner circle. And yes, that includes Steve Harvey. The rumors about Steve are getting louder. No more whispers, now it's full-on alarms blaring. People are asking, was Steve just a passive bystander? Or was he in deeper than he ever let on? Because if he knew about the dark side of Diddy's empire and still stayed silent, that makes him complicit, boo. And ain't nobody escaping karma this time.
You get haters. You know, people's opinion of you is none of your business. I have lots.
And let's not forget, Steve's own life is unraveling faster than a cheap weave. His marriage to Marjorie Harvey? Woo, it's allegedly hanging by a thread. Publicly, they're putting on a brave face, but behind closed doors. Sources say Marjorie is weighing her options real carefully. Because if Steve's name gets dragged deeper into this mess, you best believe Marjorie's not about to let her reputation go down with him. Self-preservation, baby?
Hey, Marjorie, the thing that Marjorie's not telling you all.
Telling everybody's
yes,
business? Okay, now don't let me start telling Steve's business.
And Marjorie? She's no stranger to scandal herself. Her past relationships, with men tied to shady dealings, have already been tabloid fodder for years. Now, with new allegations swirling around Steve's alleged involvement in Diddy's world, her own history is being dragged back into the spotlight. And let's just say, it's not looking good for either of them.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
Meanwhile, sitting in her metaphorical jail cell is Wendy Williams, watching it all unfold. For years, Wendy tried to warn us, dropping little breadcrumbs about the corruption, the manipulation, the control. She saw the darkness for what it was. She spoke out, even when it cost her her job, her freedom, her sanity. And now, baby, the receipts are slapping Hollywood right across the face. Wendy was right all along.
Please, stop. Stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship and thinking you can change a man.
But here's the cruel irony. Even though Wendy's words are finally being validated, she's still stuck, still gagged, still shackled by a system that seems hell-bent on keeping her silent. As Diddy's empire crumbles and Steve's carefully crafted image teeters on the brink, Wendy's battle for her own justice risks getting buried under the avalanche of bigger scandals. The industry she spent her life exposing might just succeed in silencing her after all. But trust, the streets aren't forgetting. Not this time.
I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this, he think he this. You don't even know me.
As the lawsuits rage, the investigations deepen, and the power structures start cracking, one thing is crystal clear. This story is far from over. Diddy's court date is coming, more names are gonna drop, more secrets are gonna spill, and as the chaos swirls, one burning question remains. Will Wendy Williams finally get the freedom and vindication she deserves? Or will Hollywood's dirtiest players succeed in burying her for good? Only time will tell. But one thing's for damn sure, the truth always comes out in the end. Drop your thoughts below, because honey, we're only at the beginning of this messy, jaw-dropping saga. Jaw-dropping saga.